This is a national health crisis of our time. This is bigger than AIDS. This is bigger than breast cancer. And almost no attention seems to be paid to it.
David. Okay, you know what? I just don't think this is gonna work. And I say, David, you know, I'm trying to get to him and he's not there. He's not there. I don't know where he is, but he's not there.
Dancing. I know it's hard. Sit down, I'll get it ready for you. The first toy, Tristan.
I didn't choose to do this. I'm not a therapist. I was drafted. I have an autistic child.
He smiled at 6 weeks. He sat up at 6 months. Beautiful kid, and really sweet. He walked at 13 months.
It was my first child. I just thought he was doing what young kids do.
Probably about 18 months is when it finally dawned on me there was something not quite right about him.
Adam really wasn't picking up words.
He stopped saying the words that he had. He had about 8 words. He almost seemed like a precocious child at the time.
What am I doing wrong?
What's wrong, little man?
What do I have to do differently as a parent? And why is he having all these tantrums?
What was starting to get odd was that he really wouldn't play with other kids, and he was having trouble eating food.
And he would sometimes stare up at lights in funny ways, or he examined the hardware on a door with such intense interest. We said, this is not right.
As the weeks went on, he became more and more what I've referred to as distant, and I didn't quite understand it. My husband didn't really understand it, and I kept going back to this very prominent, by the way, Upper East Side pediatrician who kept telling me, oh, he's upset, he knows he's here, he's fine.
So we went to the doctor, and she said, oh, don't worry about it, he's just, you know, he's fine.
We got the whole boys talk late thing.
Not exactly meeting the milestones, but I was told not to worry.
They didn't want to say the A word right away. They kept saying pervasive developmental disorder.
David was diagnosed with PDD-NOS.
And I went on the computer, and everything that had PDD-NOS said autistic.
And I remember my heart stopped beating, and I said, autism? Like, God, is David autistic?
I went home, I got out a DSM, and I looked up PDD-NOS, and I saw that horrible referral to autism, and then I felt sick to my stomach.
I got frustrated, and I just said, listen, do you think he might be autistic? And she said, yeah, I think he might be autistic.
Doctor came back and said, your son is autistic, as you had feared.
You know, in the pit of your stomach, that it's true. And I never was in denial about it because it made sense. Finally, something made sense.
We didn't know as much as we know now about how awful autism really is.
It's clearly disappointment and pain, you know, to try to realize that he wasn't my perfect little boy anymore.
Then the lights went out as we were going to sleep, and Laura started to cry.
It's like when your child dies, you know, there is a finality to that. But how do you mourn your own child who's alive? He was still alive and breathing, but the boy that I thought would be there, the boy that I had in my heart and my, you know, in my thoughts and about the future, was gone.
The dream of a normal life was really what was lost. All the things that you expect will be part of your daily life went away at that time.
You want to go swimming, Davy? Come on. Just go put your bathing suit on. Let's go. He's not going to be fine. He's not going to be perfect. Come on. He is autistic. Not only is he autistic, but he's severely autistic. David, please.
Oh, good.
Yeah, a bad day is extremely tough. It's physically draining, trying to redirect him constantly. He has no play skills. It's really hard to keep him doing meaningful activities. Can you put these in the cart? Thank you.
Every minute requires constant creativity and coming up with some way to keep Jody calm and quiet and entertained so that she doesn't have a total meltdown or a total breakdown. Come on, we're gonna do our matching.
Nothing is simple with David. Everything is stressful and everything is laborious and exhausting.
Can you eat your chicken?
Autism has all kinds of issues attached to it. You know, it's not just that, you know, he's not good socially or like, you know, he's not aware of his environment. He can't eat.
You eat one. His biggest problem is the way he opens his mouth. His tongue is always coming out.
You're stressed that your kid's not eating broccoli? My kid's eating baby food for the last 3 years. You know, we've had feeding therapy for 3 years.
His digestive tract is so bad that it would be better if, like, he never had to eat.
Good job. I like the way you ate that. And we just want to work really hard on using the fork. Daniel would eat everything with his hands.
She never sits down and eats. She always eats either running around or with bugs.
Good job. Wow, you did it yourself.
Getting dressed is just agony. Putting on your socks, believe it or not, is about a 20-step process. Not for typically developing children, but it is for an autistic child.
He gets confused, like right now, if I give him some pan, he'll put it over his head. Unfortunately, he doesn't understand. See? No, these are your pants. He's having a hard time.
On average, how long does it take for you to brush his teeth and dress him in the morning?
On a good day, 20 minutes. 20 minutes.
On a bad day?
Almost half an hour to an hour, because I won't give up. This took me 2 years.
2 years to put his shirt on?
To put his shirt on. 2 years. Dancing? Ready to brush your teeth, bud? Dancing. It would really be good if you helped me. Good. Okay, let's put it on your teeth, though. Thank you.
I have been brushing Danson's teeth basically every day for 6 years.
Sweetie, please give me some teeth.
The thing I try to tell myself is, like, this is a moment that I can interact with him, and I can make it really negative and a huge fight, which some days are, or I can just do it because it has to be done.
It took us years and years to get him toilet trained. We thought we'd had that solved, and then to have that go backwards, that was one of the darkest days, just thinking that society is not very well equipped to handle big kids who are not toilet trained.
I so hope I won't be changing diapers when he's 6½.
Danson goes through phases where he doesn't sleep for like 2 or 3 weeks straight. I mean, maybe from like 7 to 8 in the morning, and you're up all night.
It's like you have a hangover the next day, but you didn't have any fun the night before.
The only solace he will find is if we're driving around. So I literally have driven around in the car all night long.
You wake up like in a frat house. Like I wake up here, sleeping on the couch. I'm in my other son's room. I'm there. Christian's sleeping sideways across our bed. I mean, we just pass out.
Okay, buddy.
And I can't even see for the tears in the car. And it occurs to me that this is insane. Like, my life is completely insane at this moment. I cannot believe this is me.
I was completely a mess when I was getting up every night at 2 or 3 in the morning. She doesn't need very much sleep, but I do.
He has never spoken a single word. Jackson is a kid that may never speak.
Just hello, hi, Dad. I have that dream a lot, then I wake up, and it's just like, is that possible? Can that happen one day?
The days of me wishing to have a normal conversation with David are long gone. I just want one word. Daddy. That's all I want.
And someone once said to me, said, Jess, you got to find the meaning in all this. And I hated when they said that, initially. I said, the meaning in this? No, you find out the meaning in this. The meaning in this to me is, it's horrible.
Stimming is short for self-stimulatory behavior. And, well, pretty much what he's doing right now is stimming.
Quiet hands.
He flaps his hands and sometimes claps them together.
But that activity isn't appropriate for anyone, really. He spends most of his time jumping up and down on his toes, flapping his hands. Frankly, it does drive you crazy after hearing that for a couple of hours, or weeks, or months, or years.
He grinds his teeth, he makes this clicking sound. You just want to be like, shut up. Shut up, I can't take it. It drives me crazy. And then couple that with feeling guilty because that's the only sound he can make.
He's grinding his teeth to feel his mouth. And he likes hot water, really hot water. And I'm desperately afraid he'll get scalded. Once in a while, he just picks a phrase and it just keeps coming up. Hooting is the last one, and around Halloween, people were always asking us, oh, that's so cute, he's gonna be an owl for Halloween. I'm like, oh yeah.
He's into head banging. He loves to bang his head against you. And sometimes it hurts.
Adam, nice. Nice, all right? Nice. Nice.
Hitting himself and scratching himself and biting himself. To watch your kid hit himself, that was so hard. And there was a year there where he did nothing but hit himself.
He'll scratch his neck and he'll rub his eyes, or he'll scratch his arms and sometimes his shoulders. It's really painful to watch.
There's no eye contact, there's no interaction of any kind. That's very painful.
And the longer you leave him in a situation like that, the stronger the walls are.
And it's so hard because those moments where I feel like I really have got him are fleeting, where we're really connecting, where he understands what I'm saying and knows I understand him. And
he is trying so hard to stay in himself, and I'm trying so hard to pull him out all the time. Look up, let me see your face. Okay.
Once she decided to give herself a bath. She flooded the entire house. I woke up in the middle of the night to the sound of the ceiling over the kitchen crashing down because the entire ceiling collapsed. So now we put a drain in the floor of the bathroom so that if she decides to give herself a bath again, at least it won't flood the house.
Ripping things off walls, throwing things on the floor. Running room to room to room to room.
A bad day is a bad day, and a good day is a bad day waiting to happen.
I feel like I'm playing this game of beat the clock, where if we don't get his self-abusive behavior completely under control, that we won't be able to take care of him. You first get diagnosed and you say to yourself, I'm going to do a year of really hard work and he's going to be fine, he's going to be better. And then the year comes by and you're like, okay, maybe like 2 years, and then maybe like 3 years. And then you realize, okay, so basically this is lifelong.
Way I imagined Little League and trips and vacations and girlfriends, and it's taken me a very long time to let those dreams go.
People can say, oh, he's special and he's wonderful and he's a very unique child. You know what? Let me not kid you. How special and how unique he would be if he was not autistic.
Jackson is never going to get married and never going to have kids. When I'm at somebody else's wedding and they're dancing with their mother, what I would do to dance with Jackson.
Christian's a human being who's fighting so hard, like you can't believe. And what's been taken from him is it's indescribable.
We have a house in East Hampton, and we have a very large pond on the property. And we have locks on all our doors because we didn't want David possibly going into the pond. And there were times where you hoped he did, because you wouldn't want him to suffer like this all his life. And that's a tough thing to hope that your child would die.
The itsy bitsy spider went up the water spout.
Dancer says the beginning syllables of almost everything.
And washed the spider out. Up came the and dried up all the rain. Book? No, that was beautiful singing, dancing.
I have no idea what he knows, actually. So if we're doing a puzzle or looking at a book, that's how I learn what he knows.
There are a lot of things in his brain that are working well. It's just that probably many areas of the brain are not connected appropriately, and so you just see glimpses of intelligence.
I never have heard Danson count higher than 5, even though he's 6 years old. And he actually counted to 14, and I had no idea he knew any of those numbers.
For Daniel, I think that he actually knows everything that's going around. I think he's incredibly smart, and I feel like receptively he gets everything, but he just can't express it.
Say pop, say ma. Good job, say ma. Excellent, buddy. That was great job.
Adam gets occupational therapy in the school, and he comes to our clinic for more of a sensory gym.
Danson receives speech therapy, occupational therapy, and physical therapy in our home program.
Sit down. Nice, and give me 5.
Children with autism that don't speak have to find a way to communicate.
M&M.
We will hold up a baggie of M&Ms and we say, find the M&Ms, and he'll give us the picture of the M&Ms. We were working on this for 3 years and we finally got it.
M&M, beautiful. Eat, sure, here.
Every 2 hours throughout the day, between 8 and 6:30, someone else comes in the room.
I am the best boy in the world.
I spend about 4 hours a day in the room.
Okay, come on in your seat.
This morning I wanted Danson to sit with me and do a puzzle.
You put that in the puzzle?
He could care less. You know, when he feels like doing it, he will sit there and do that whole puzzle in 30 seconds, or he won't. My first teaching assignment was all the children who had failed high school English, grades 9 through 12, repeating summer school. That was my first teaching job, and this is even much harder than that.
Sit here. Beautiful. Okay, now you're ready. Can you put the W in? Wow, Danson, good job.
And I think that he's really starting to come out more and more every single day. and seeing that motivates me.
Nice, the U and the V. Fabulous. That was beautiful. Thank you.
Something that has furs, eh?
Oh,
good.
We do 10 hours of verbal behavior therapy at home, which is applied behavior analysis. We also do music therapy on the weekends, and we do prompted speech.
Something with the cetas, eh?
Yeah,
nice.
All of these therapies cost a lot of money, which we pay for out of Davy's college fund.
Can you show me your ears? Let's try that one again. Show me ears. Ears, show me ears. Good job. Give me 5. Show me ears.
We set up the basement like a classroom for Jackson. I want him to get used to what it's like being in a school environment. You know, got the whole blackboard and his easel and all different activities and programs. Put everything in a clear bin so you can see what's inside, but you can't get it. So he actually would have to, you know, engage in some sort of communication to get you to get the toy, to open it.
Here goes B, ready? You say, nice try, and put in.
We spent $50,000, you know, on this room.
Here comes letter C. First thing you say, Mama. Nice talking. Here's C.
This wouldn't have been what we went into debt for.
G, can you clap hands?
It represents 40 hours a week of one-to-one intervention where my kid is crying, you know, a good part of the time.
It's very hard to sit in the other room and listen to your child scream for 3 hours. Impossibly hard to describe.
I think the biggest challenge was finding a school for her.
He can't go to kindergarten. You know, my school district doesn't have anything appropriate for him.
When he turns 5, I wish so much that he could go to kindergarten here, and it's a wonderful school, but it's not an option. Well, he has to go to a school for autistic kids across the street, you know, where he's going to be learning again to be potty trained and do puzzles and speak, hopefully.
Show me the green circle. That's red. Where's the green circle? Green. Show me the green circle. Very good, Adam. Put it on.
Finding a school for him was a nightmare.
got it.
It was a nightmare. There were no seats available. The people who are supposed to help you in the system don't help you. You're mandated all these services, but there's no one to give them. It's like what I call winning on paper, but losing in reality. And time is of the essence. There isn't time to waste here.
I don't know where he'll go to school. He doesn't fit into any program that I know of.
My son attends a school in a tough neighborhood. And when the bus drops him off to school, there are security guards with guns.
There are parents who are forced to put kids in schools that are completely overcrowded and 12 kids and 1 teacher, and the kids don't make progress. But I remember that was a very scary moment for me when I realized I had sat in the car for about 15 minutes and actually contemplated putting Jody in the car and driving off the George Washington Bridge, and that would be preferable to having to put her in one of these schools.
While the other kids are playing soccer in the afternoon or going to Little League, my son's sitting in a little tiny room, you know, at a desk, trying to learn how to talk. Yeah,
Everything I do is about autism. Do you want to do the alphabet or the numbers?
Do you want to go up? Okay. I have to stay home with him because I have to facilitate the therapist, going here, going there, the medication, the constant medical appointments.
You have to be his voice. You know, the mother has to be his voice because there's so much going on. You have to make sure that the therapists are good. You have to make sure that he gets into a good school. You have to make sure that everything is working for him. You have to make sure that he's not, you know, suffering because he's not communicating. How could I leave someone like that?
I really had to give up my entire life as I knew it.
I went to Georgetown for undergraduate. I was a finance major. And then I went to Harvard Business School and got an MBA.
And I did have to quit my job.
I could have been a money manager at a hedge fund flying all over the globe.
I really, really love my work as an educator, and I was living my lifelong dreams, and I'm walking away completely.
When you have a child with autism, your priorities change, your perspective changes, and you know, some of the things that were important and glamorous to you before are not that exciting.
You did a good job. Thank you. Say hello to the dog. Do you want to say hello to the dogs? We aren't making a lot of friends.
Our entire social life revolves around autism, and all of our friends are parents of children with autism.
The parents of autistic children often stick together, and we have to.
Because they understand if your kid is having a meltdown and there's no judgment, it's just that's how it is.
You change your friends around. You have to. Because sometimes you need someone else to understand what you're going through. Because your friends, they'll listen to you, but they don't get it.
You know, it's very hard to maintain friendships with people that have no idea, like, just how difficult your life is on a day-to-day basis.
They have no idea how easy it is compared to this. You know, your heart is breaking all day long. You know, you think about his future and all the pain he's in, and I don't think they can understand that.
And the parents who were going out for bagels together and are like, oh, do you want to come for a bagel? And I think, yes, in another life, I'd love to come for a bagel. But right now, I have to write down what he's doing so we can go home and work on that. And then I have to take the other two to therapy. So, no, I can't go for a bagel.
Ann and I, it's like we lost part of our life in a sense. We gave up our house. We gave up a life that was comfortable, you know, to come back here and to live with my mother-in-law, because we had to. We had to make that choice for Adam. I love that house. And I remember walking out, and I just looked at that house for one last time. And it was almost like looking at my life that could have been one last time.
When you have a child with autism, I think the rate for divorce is like 80%. We could never get divorced anyway because we can't afford it and we can't do this by ourselves. You're stuck together. Whether you like it or not, I'm not going anywhere, and neither is my husband.
And it tests your marriage in the sense of, because you don't have time to really, how are you? How you doing? Do you want to go out to dinner? Well, that's not possible.
Having a child who needs what Danson needs made it really difficult for me to balance my life and be a mother and have a job and be a wife. I didn't give that marriage what I could have because I had nothing left to give.
We never have any time to be together. It's always one of us with Jody.
It was just an angry time where I think both felt so helpless and did not know what to do and really like sort of turned on each other.
When we were thinking about having another child, the fear was, you know, are we going to have another child with autism?
Okay, I'm going to take little Matthias off your hands. I love you.
Say bye.
Bye.
Matthias was 4 months old when Christian was diagnosed. It just took a lot of the naturalness, the joy of having a baby out of the equation because we were always filled with fear.
Bye.
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 So, you know, the one thing that everyone does agree on is there is a genetic component, and the chances of when you have another boy, it's like 1 in 10. Something like devastating like that.
Lauren has never known a life without autism in it.
Jody, look, it's the Elmo book.
She was 2 months old when Jody was diagnosed. And so the first 2 years of Lauren's life are a complete blur.
When Miguel came, like Anna said to me, oh great, you know, now he has somebody to take care of him.
I see Pooh Bear's house. What do you see, Jody?
That's the life she knows.
I don't want anybody to make fun of her.
My second child now, Andrew, has to function as the big brother, and it's difficult explaining to him what's wrong with his brother.
He seems to not like you, but he really does like you somewhere in him.
See if you can hold hands with Davy and jump together.
We wish we could play with him, but he really we really can play with him.
He wants to fix Christian, and he makes a big show about examining people. It's sad. I forget sometimes that he lost Christian too.
Oh, that's nice. Christian's such a good big brother.
I wish I had a sister without autism. I wish that I really could play with him so he could be my real big brother. And that's my secret wish.
It's very hard to manage the emotional issues, the financial issues, which are huge.
We had to borrow money from my parents. We had to borrow money from my sister so that we could create this environment for the kids. But all the money in the world, the $50,000 that we're in debt, is all about the autism.
What I spend on the medical activities that the insurance companies are not paying for, it's a large number.
I mean, spending $75, $100 an hour for speech therapy. $100 an hour.
All the way. You got it. Very good, Adam.
In order to pay for my son's therapy, we've had to give up a lot of things. We make the decision of whether or not I'm going to buy that CD, but that CD will pay for a quarter time for speech therapy.
Yay, you did it.
So I'm not going to buy that CD.
You did that all by yourself, didn't you?
Or you know what?
Show me.
That car looks really good, but he needs occupational therapy for the next year.
We had a big leak in the living room that was coming down in like a bucket. It's been over 2 years, and those holes are still there because we don't have any money to fix that.
We keep saying that we're just sending, Daniel to Harvard over and over again every year for the rest of his life.
We just keep taking out loans to pay the bills, and we pay for special food and extra therapies all out of loans. So you just keep borrowing, and you just keep trying, and you just keep being disappointed, and you just keep going broke.
Danson ran out the door himself, which was absolutely terrifying. And it was freezing cold, no shirt on and no shoes on.
Daniel had walked at the front door.
He got away from me, and he was running down the middle of First Avenue.
She took off once, and we had to call the police.
I immediately called the police.
Just running straight on into traffic.
Daniel wouldn't look at traffic.
Running, sprinting down to that traffic light.
He's gonna get hit by a car.
I really was sure that he would be struck by a car.
People were beeping.
My heart was racing.
I felt my life going in like slow motion.
Anything could have happened.
It's very scary. It's very, very scary. Oh my God, I was like, this is all my fault. Christian can't help it. I felt so badly, like I really let him down.
I just was so angry at myself.
I feel like I'm playing this game, which is life or death to me. And then there's always the parents who just say, can't you just keep your child quiet?
People have no idea what it's like to have a child with autism.
Bessie? The constant comments, he's too old for that, he shouldn't be having that.
Control your child, or why is she screaming?
Why is he hitting himself?
Why is he biting and pinching?
What are you doing to her? Why are you making her cry?
And I say, well, are you an expert in autism?
But I get a look like, you can't control him.
And I was a grown woman afraid of the phone ringing because it was the school principal calling me saying she had bitten someone, or she had kicked a kid, or she had hit a teacher.
Why does he do that? Why is he doing this? I don't really know.
Come on, Dave. I have to always have eyes in the back of my head. Where is my son? What is he doing? So either what is he knocking off the shelf, or what is he putting in his mouth, or which stranger is he inappropriately touching? Baby, can you say hi to the man? Can you say hi? Say hi. Hi. Oh, he's very affectionate. He likes you.
We're just judged more harshly and more constantly, and expected to do things that no human being should be expected to do.
It's always heartbreaking when your child is having a meltdown and other children are playing and behaving normally. I mean, even today, when Jody was on the swings and crying, the other moms were sort of looking and wondering why this 8.5-year-old girl was screaming and carrying on because she didn't want to get on a swing. It's impossible not to feel the judgment.
because they're not in a wheelchair, or they're not blind, or not visibly disabled, they're really harshly judged. I wish other parents could know how hard our kids work, that we are trying all day long, every day, to get the best possible out of them.
Come on over, bud. I would like people to second guess themselves when they look at me and they think that A, I can't control my kid, or B, I'm abusing my child because he's screaming. Have a little bit more understanding, a little bit more compassion, and show that to your children as well. I guess what keeps me awake mostly is, A, I want him to live with me as long as he can, and I worry about that, and I worry about what happens when I'm gone.
I worry about his future. I worry about where he'll live. I worry about who'll take care of him if something happens to me.
If we die early, who is going to have the time, the inclination, the resources, and the history to be able to deal with him? It's certainly not my 6-year-old son and 4-year-old daughter.
I can never die. Nothing can ever happen to me.
Sometimes I have to block it out of my head and think about today, because if I think about that too much, it can make you really lose it.
We never talk about that in my house. We live like alcoholics, so it's like just one day at a time. That's it. My big dream is for him to recover and be the way he used to be able to talk to him again.
Hi, guys.
So he can express what he wants and what he likes to do, and, you know, he should say, I love you.
Aw, that's nice.
If I could have one wish, you know, it would be that I could just have him consistently and successfully communicate with me all the time.
Adam to talk, to eat.
I would love for Danson to be independent and be able to, you know, care for his body and dress himself.
Even imitating the sound, Mama.
Go to the bathroom, that would be really very, very nice.
I just want to find that thing that's better than stimming, better than being inside himself, where I could use it to pull him out.
I would like for him to be able to go and play in the yard like children do.
To have a happy life. Will I love him more if he talks? No. I love him now.
We get like just a snapshot of normality, and that's all we really need. We just need those few moments to keep us going. Give me a kiss. Give me a kiss. Thank you.
We savor the typical moments because they're not that often.
That's it, Christian. Kick your feet.
There you go.
Simple things that I thought never were going to happen in my lifetime, like getting a haircut without someone calling 911. You know, he gets a haircut like a normal kid. Little things like that make such a difference.
Hey, you okay? Very good.
I know. You're doing really well. You're doing really, really well.
But it's getting easier. It's getting easier.
Like the first time he actually said something to me, and I connected with it, he just looked at me and said, juice. And I said, juice? And he said, juice. And I ran to the refrigerator and I got the juice. I said, juice! And he beamed. He smiled because he knew that I knew what he wanted.
People say simple pleasures, simple goals.
Get that for Mommy. Get me some meat, okay? That's good. Thanks, sweetie. Okay, that's good.
He's very, very loving to me. In his own way, he expresses that.
You know, when he smiles and when he gives me the rare hug, that means more to me than I can ever express.
I look at Jackson, especially in like the nice moments where he's hugging you or you put him to bed, and I think he could have been okay. You know, he could have been okay, and you close your eyes for a minute and life would be completely different. It would be completely different.
When are people going to wake up and take this as the epidemic that it is? It's like 1 in 166 now.
It's terrifying to think that your child has this incurable disorder and there's so little out there to help them.
How all of a sudden did the number of 1 out of every 166 creep up on us?
1 out of 166 kids, that's an epidemic.
One kid with autism is being diagnosed every 20 minutes. Every 20 minutes, a family is exploding in this country. They're going to go bankrupt, probably end up divorced, and the whole family is going to be traumatized.
The numbers are growing, the demand is growing, and the money's not there. Who's going to take care of these kids?
Every day I wake up in the morning, I think I have to fight for him to get his life back. I think that they have this misconception that all our kids are just mentally retarded and that's it, and what can you do, what can be done, and we want to change that.
If there's a chance for David, it's going to come from research. And if there's a chance in my lifetime of seeing any cure for autism, that's going to come from research.
When people look at me and they're like, oh, why is she pushing so hard? She should just find a residential care facility for him and move on with her life. And that makes me crazy.
And there is no place I won't go. There is no one I won't talk to. And I would give my life right now for his progress and his development.
You have to walk a line between accepting him for who he is, but always pushing for more.
I just cannot accept we have to throw away this generation of children. No way.
It's not really in my vocabulary, as I assume it's not in a lot of autistic parents' vocabulary to say quit.
Look how beautiful she is. When she smiles, she lights up the whole world.
Tickle my face.
Tickle your face.
I love him so much, and all I want to do is reach him and let him know that he's loved.
When I see him do something that we've worked so hard on and he's worked so hard on, it gives me hope that he'll get there. Good job, Jackson.
Danson is my greatest teacher, and I know that, and he teaches me something every single day. That was the best look. That was the best look, Danson.
I don't regret a day that my son has been in my life. He's made me a better man and opened up the world to me that was closed before, where the things that I value are deeper, where he hasn't spoken a word to me in years, but he speaks volumes to me in my spirit. He's my hero.
No mother of an autistic child ever doesn't appreciate the little things. You know very well that every little thing that goes well, you know, it takes a long time to get there. When they get it, you're just so happy. You could live on that for months.
Two, three.
Good
job. Good
Oh my
job.
God, he's actually grabbing a bat. He's swinging.
a home run for us. We never thought he would hit a ball.
I will never give up. I will always think in my head, the words are right around the corner. Because if you don't think positively, you won't make it through the day.
Just love him for the fact that he can eat with a fork, or pull up his underwear, or say hi.
Sometimes I lay awake at night and I see all these beautiful people sleeping around me because we all sleep in the same room. And I see my youngest boy and I see my son Adam and my wife next to me. And I say to myself, my God, you are a blessed man. I said, you are a blessed man.
Say, I love you, Mommy.
I love you, Mommy.
I'll take that. I'll take that.
I love you. Mama.
That's right. High five. I love you too, baby. I love you so much.
I really wish he could grab me and hug me and say, bye, Mom, I'll see you when I get home.
had a normal little boy. He's 5 years old tomorrow, and we had such a beautiful child, and something took him away, and it's called autism.
It's really hard for the grandparents too, really hard.
But the grandparents need to have a special role in this because they have to be able to face it for their children. So if we got all the grandparents in this country who have autism in their family, you know what a powerful thing that would be in the halls of Washington? It would be extraordinary, and that's what we're going to do.
Our daughter and my son-in-law can only do so much. They have to work with Christian. We can do things to help them that they can't do for themselves.
Whoa! Go, Christian, go, go!
Grandparents are potentially one of the most powerful influences for autism treatment and care, without question in my mind. We don't have a choice, so we're doing what we can.